What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I got asked a question, I think it was on Instagram. He wrote me and he was saying, Chad, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 6 months now and I feel like I'm just not improving at all. I'm not really picking up on any of the techniques. What are some of the things that you would do when you first started jiu-jitsu, and how do you think that I can improve my jiu-jitsu? So one of the things that I like to do when I was coming up in jiu-jitsu, so I started when I was 11 years old, but one thing that I would do is I would make sure that I would try to learn as many techniques as possible. Now it sounds crazy, you're like, well, maybe I should focus on one, but at the beginning you're kind of just everywhere already, right? You don't know what to do, you don't know this position, you don't know that position, so it's really good to build a fundamental base. So the way that I would do that is anytime that I would roll with somebody, I would make sure I would go up to them and I would say, how did you do that? So if they submitted me with a triangle 100 times in a row, and if I don't ask them that question, then something's wrong with me, right? So that means I don't want to improve. So anytime someone would hit me with a move, from when I was 11 till today, if somebody hits me with something, I'm like, hey man, how did you do that? Because one, if they show you, it's going to make them have to become craftier and kind of hit their technique in a different way than they were before. So it's making them improve by them showing you, and it's also making you improve, right? So it's making you a better training partner for them. So most people don't mind to be like, oh yeah, here's how I did this, because in the long run it's going to help them out as well. So the biggest thing that you could do is try to learn as many techniques as you can and find the 1 or 2 techniques that are working for you. So if you look at all the jiu-jitsu guys, a lot of them are well-rounded, but they're really well known for like that 1 or 2 things that they do, right? So me, it would be the triangle. You could take somebody else and maybe it's an arm bar, or it's a collar choke, or it's a loop choke, something like that. But just experiment around with some stuff for a little while, and then once you feel like you know like the little basics of everything, then start to focus on a few things that you could do. But like I said, the most important thing that you could do when you're coming up is ask questions. If you lose, you always ask the question, how did you do that? If somebody stopped you from doing an arm bar, somebody stopped you from doing a triangle, you stop the roll and you ask them like, hey, how did I do this? Or you wait till after the roll and you're like, hey, how do I do this? And most people, they're not gonna mind unless they're, a big douchebag. But in that case, you shouldn't roll with them anyways. But hope this helps you guys out. Remember, ask as many questions as you can when you're doing jiu-jitsu. That's the only way to improve. Ask your instructor, ask your training partner, and also make sure they know what they're doing as well. So if you're asking another white belt how to do something, you have to understand that they probably don't know what they're doing yet either. So always confirm it with a higher belt or your instructor. I'll talk to y'all next time. As always,